Gateway. Emile Zettoc, a former Czech athlete, is considered one of the greatest long-distance runners ever. He was also famous for his distinctive running style. While working in a shoe factory, he participated in a 1,500-meter race and won second place. After that event, he took a more serious interest in running and devoted himself to it. At the 1952 Olympic Games in Helsinki, he won 3 gold medals in the 5,000-meter and 10,000-meter races and in the marathon, breaking Olympic records in each. He was married to Dana Zeptakova, who was an Olympic gold medalist too. Zettoc was also noted for his friendly personality. In 1966, Zettoc invited Ron Clarke, a great Australian runner who had never won an Olympic gold medal, to an athletic meeting in Prague. After the meeting, he gave Clarke one of his gold medals as a gift. Exercise 1. Karl Ritter was a German geographer who, together with Alexander von Humboldt, is thought to be one of the founders of modern geography. He was born in 1779 in the family of a physician. At the university level, he opted for Greek and Latin and read history and geography widely. In 1814, Ritter joined the University of Göttingen and studied geography, history, pedagogy, the science of teaching, physics, chemistry, mineralogy, and botany. In 1818, Ritter was appointed as a professor of history at the University of Frankfurt. Subsequently, when the first chair of geography was created in Germany, he was given the assignment of geography professorship at the University of Berlin. He founded the Berlin Geographical Society in 1828. He served the Department of Geography of Berlin University for 39 years. In 1859, he breathed his last, the year in which Humboldt also expired. Exercise 2. William Buckland, British geologist and paleontologist, once gave a dinner party at which a delicious but unusual soup was served. He challenged his guests to name the chief ingredient, but none guessed correctly. They were then horrified to learn that they were eating the remains of an alligator Buckland had dissected earlier in the day. 2 or 3 were obliged to make a hasty exit from the room. "See what imagination is," said Buckland. "If I had told them it was turtle or bird's nest soup, they would have pronounced it excellent, and their digestion would have been none the worse." One of the remaining guests ventured to ask if the soup had really been made from the dissected alligator. "As good a calf's head as ever wore a coronet," answered Buckland with a smile. Exercise 3. It was the middle of winter, and Paul had been driving around for weeks with a backseat full of old clothes to drop off at a local charity. For some reason, even though he drove past a collection point every day, he just kept forgetting to stop. One night after his shift had ended at midnight, Paul was driving home through downtown. The streets were deserted, except for a man who was walking with just a blanket thrown over a thin cotton shirt to ward off the bitter cold. Paul pulled a coat, down vest, and some gloves out of the pile in the back seat to give to the man, and, after driving a roundabout course to get through all the one-way streets, finally caught up with him. Jumping out of the car with the clothes, Paul ran up to him and said, "I hope they fit." Paul can still see the smile that spread across the man's face, and he thanked Paul. Paul hurried back to his warm car, and he was smiling too, and a lot more thankful for all that he was able to spare. Exercise 4. On August 16, 1966, the 36-year-old mathematician, Stephen Smale, arrived in Moscow to receive the Fields Medal at the International Congress of Mathematicians. Smale had earned this award often described as the Nobel Prize of Mathematics, by bringing a profound new understanding to the subject of higher dimensional topology. Normally, there is little interest in the Fields Medal outside the upper level of the mathematics community. In 1966, however, Smale's trip to Moscow frustrated attempts to serve him with a congressional subpoena. On the same day as the Fields Medal ceremony, the House Committee on Un-American Activities began a hearing in Washington to investigate radical anti-war protests by Smale and others. The unusual combination of mathematical achievement and political activity raised the profile of a diminutive mathematician with a distinctive high-pitched voice. 10 days later, Smale held an unplanned Moscow press conference in which he criticized the United States' involvement in the Vietnam War and compared it to the Soviet invasion of Hungary.